Good morning, and welcome to the Windward Buddhist Temple service, the first service for October. My time certainly flies, doesn't it? My name is Shirley, you all know who I am, and I will be your MC today. We will begin with the ringing of the temple bell or kansho that signifies the beginning of a temple service. It is a deep and sacred ritual steeped in ancient tradition. It is the calling of the people to come together to listen to the Dharma teachings. The temple bell represents the gratitude and deep appreciation of the members, friends, and guests of the Windward Buddhist Temple. Please sit quietly in your seat. Please rise for the meditation, followed by the chanting of the Vandana Ti-Sarana as a congregation in Pali and English in the red Jodo Shinshu service book on page 7. Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namanda, Namanda. Please be seated. Today's sutra is the praises of the Buddha in the Rare Jodo Shinshu service book on page 112.
Shines in great splendor, boundless, wondrous dignity, such the greatness of your light, beyond all comparison. Brightness of the sun and moon, and the shining money jewels, when compared to your brilliance, seem to us like blackest ink. Tathagata's countenance transcends all comparison. The great voice of awakening resounds through the 10 quarters. Your precepts, learning, effort, meditation, wisdom are virtues beyond all compare, ultimate, supreme, and rare. Your deep meditation has fathomed all the Dharma sea to the limits and the depths of all things the Buddhas teach. Ignorance, anger, and greed, the world honored one has none. Like a lion among men, measureless your great virtue. Vast are your great virtuous deeds, wisdom deep and so sublime. Your radiant, luminous light shakes all the world's foundations. I become a Buddha, equal to the Dharma King. I will transcend birth and death, liberating all beings. My giving discipline mind, precepts, patience, and effort, meditation and wisdom shall be supreme, unsurpassed. I will attain Buddhahood. Everywhere fulfill my vow, bringing to all those in fear great peace and tranquility. Though there are myriad Buddhas, beyond measure, beyond count, and great sages numberless, like the grains of Hongwanji sand, I will honor each of them, equally accepting none. Even more importantly, I will seek the supreme way, even though all Buddha worlds are countless as Ganges sands, even though all lands and realms are boundless without measure. Yet my light shall reach them all and illumine every place. Such shall be my perfect work, such my power infinite. When I attain Buddhahood, my land will be first and best, place of practice transcendent, its people sublime and rare, land equal to nirvana, beyond all comparison, with pity for everyone. I will carry all across, all who come from 10 quarters to be born into my land, to attain pure joyful mind, peace and great tranquility. Be my witness, Buddha, please. Confirm my sincerity. Now that I have made my vows, I will strive to fulfill them. Buddhas of the 10 quarters, with your wisdom unhindered, may all of these honored ones know my deepest intention, even though my body must bear great pain and suffering. I will persevere and strive. Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu.
Could you please rise for the recitation Homages in the red Jodo Shinshu service book on page 2. Page 2. Hard it is to be born into human life. Now we're living in it. Difficult is to hear the teachings of the Blessed One. Now we hear them. If we do not gain emancipation in this present life, we may not be free from ill-faring in the ocean of births and deaths for kalpas. Let us reverently take refuge in the three treasures.
We go to the Buddha for guidance. May we always walk in the way that leads to enlightenment. We go to the Dharma for guidance. May we be submerged in the depth of the teachings and gain wisdom as deep as the ocean. We go to the Sangha for guidance. May we all with one accord live the life of harmony in the spirit of oneness, free from the bondage of selfishness.
Even though myriads of kalpas, hard it is to hear such excellent and profound teachings, now we are able to hear and receive them. Let us try to understand the Tathagata's teachings. Namo Amida Butsu. Please continue to stand for the Gatha Hotokesama in the praises of the Buddha book on page 74. Page 74. Seated. Our speaker today is our minister, Reverend Barbara Brennan.
Namo. Good morning, everyone. You know, it felt like it had been a while since I was here, and yeah, last week I missed being here. That's because I attended the Maui Memorial Service at Hawaii Besuin, and it was the first time I had the opportunity to go on the Naijin, the altar area, with the senseis who were there, who attended. And it was very special. Bishop Umitani led the service. And I don't know if any of you saw it or not, but it was really nice to be able to remember the people who have lost so much. I just read this morning that, people go into Walmart or go into Target and they may not have known each other before, but they tend to really greet each other very warmly and hug. And, there's a special connection that has brought them together. And I think that's beautiful. It's really nice. Anyway, I have this story to share with you. I couldn't get hold of Ryan to do my slides, and so I started getting worried. He's so efficient. Well, obviously I got either the text or the email wrong. Finally, I had to email Roy and say, "Is Ryan okay?" Kind of embarrassing, right, for me. But no, anyway, and that was late last night, and he said, "Go ahead and send them to me." So that's the kind of person he is. He's really, really special, and we all need to really appreciate all that he does for this temple. I truly appreciate it. You can imagine what I thought. Well, if I can't get hold of Ryan, I guess I'll give one of my talks that I gave several years ago, So, but it all worked out well. I have a special book to share with you all this morning. And some of you may have read it before, but I think it's a wonderful story. This is the book. The kids have probably heard of it. Yeah? Stone Soup. And this is by John Muth, and he's written a lot of books with Buddhist theme. So Stone Soup really has its tradition in European literature and folklore, and Stone Soup in this book uses stones, but he says in Sweden, England, Russia, and Belgium, and other countries, they use other things like even an axe or some kind of heavy metal thing, but this story I'm going to tell you about today is set in China, and it's a Buddhist story tradition that has as its goal to spread enlightenment rather than seeking gain for themselves. So the characters are Hok, H-O-K, Lok, L-O-K, and Sao, but his name is spelled S-E-U-W, but it's pronounced Sao. And in real folklore, they are deities who occurred in Chinese folklore that bestow health, wealth, and prosperity. So Hok, the youngest one, symbolizes good fortune and prosperity. Lok symbolizes good health, family happiness, and mutual love. And Sao symbolizes longevity, and he brings good health and long life, free of stress and obstacles. Well, we could learn from him. In this story, they represent 3 Zen monks. And the author also says, that long ago, the color yellow, the color of the sun, was only worn by royalty. And there's a little girl in this story. She's not an empress, but she is someone exceptional. And at the end of the story, you'll see the willows, which is a symbol of parting. So we'll begin. Let's see. So this is stone soup. The stones look rather normal. So these 3 monks, Hok, Lok, and Sao, traveled along a mountain road. They talked about cat whiskers, the color of the sun, and giving. "What makes one happy, Sa?" asked Hok, the youngest monk. Old Sa, who was the wisest, said, "Let's find out." The sound of a bell brought their gaze to the rooftops of a village below. They could not see from so high above that the village had been through many hard times, famine, floods, and it was hard on the villagers. They were weary and untrusting of strangers. They had even become suspicious of their neighbors. The villagers worked hard, but only for themselves. There was a farmer, a tea merchant, a scholar, a seamstress, a doctor, a carpenter, and many more, but they had little to do with each other. When the monks reached the foot of the mountain, the villagers disappeared into their houses. No one came to the gate to greet them. And when the people saw them enter the village, they closed their windows tight. The monks knocked on the door of the first house. There was no answer. Then the house went dark. Do you suppose, like with Halloween coming up, that's something that you do? You either don't like to pass out candy or you run out of candy and you turn the lights off. But anyway, and they knocked on a second door, and the same thing happened. It happened again and again, from one house to the next. The people do not know happiness, they all agreed. But today, said Saul, the eldest, his face bright as the moon, we will show them how to make stone soup. They gathered twigs and branches and made a fire. Can you see that little girl being very hesitant over there, just watching them? They placed a small tin pot on top and filled it with water from the village well. A brave little girl who had been watching came to them. "What are you doing?" she asked. "We're gathering twigs," said Locke. "We are making a fire," said Hawk. "We are making stone soup, and we need 3 round, smooth stones," said Saw. The little girl helped the monks look around the courtyard until they found just the right ones. Then they put them in the water to cook. Kind of looks like somebody meditating, huh? Wondering how it's going to be part of a stone soup. "These stones will make excellent soup," said Saw. "But this is a very small pot. And it won't make very much, I'm afraid." "Oh, my mother has a bigger pot," said the little girl. The little girl ran home. As she started to take a pot, her mother asked what she was doing. "The 3 strangers are making soup from stones," she said. "They need our biggest pot." Said the girl's mother. "Stones are easy to come by. I'd like to learn how to do that." The monks poked at the coals. As smoke drifted up, the neighbors peered out from their windows. The fire in the large pot in the middle of the village was a true curiosity. One by one, the people of the village came out to see just what this stone soup was. Of course, old-style stone soup should be well seasoned with salt and pepper, said Hawk. "That is true," said Locke, as he stirred the giant pot filled with water and stones. "But we have none." "I have some salt and pepper," said the scholar, his eyes big with curiosity. He disappeared and came back with salt and pepper and even a few other spices. Sa took a taste. The last time we had soup stones of this size and color, carrots made the broth very sweet. Carrots, said a woman from the back. I may have a few carrots, but just a few. And off she ran. She returned with as many carrots as she could carry and dropped them into the pot. Do you think it would be better with onions? Asked Hawk. Oh, yes, maybe an onion would taste good, said a farmer, and he hurried off. He returned in a moment with 5 big onions, and he dropped them in the bubbling soup. Now that's a fine soup, he said. The villagers all nodded their heads as the smell was very agreeable. But only if we had mushrooms, said Sa, rubbing his chin. Several villagers licked their lips. A few dashed away and returned with fresh mushrooms, noodles, pea pods, and cabbages. Something magical began to happen among the villagers. As each person opened their heart to give, the next person gave even more. And as this happened, the soup grew richer and smelled more delicious. I imagined the emperor would suggest we add dumplings, said one villager. And bean curd, said another. What about cloud ear and mung beans and yams, cried some others. And taro root and winter melon and baby corn, cried other villagers. Garlic, ginger root, soy sauce, lily buds. I have some, people cried out. And off they ran, returning with all they could carry. The monks stirred and the pot bubbled. How good it smelled. How good it would taste. How giving the villagers had become. At last the soup was ready. The villagers gathered together. They brought rice and steamed buns. They brought lychee nuts and sweet cakes. They brought tea to drink, and they lit lanterns. Everyone sat down to eat. They had not been together for a feast like this for as long as anyone could remember. After the banquet, they told stories, sang songs, and celebrated long into the night. Then they unlocked their doors and took the monks into their homes and gave them very comfortable places to sleep. In the gentle spring morning, everyone gathered near the willows to say farewell. Thank you for having us as your guests, said the monks. You have been most generous. Thank you for having us as your guests, said the monks. You have been most generous. Thank you, said the villagers. With the gifts you have given, we will always have plenty. You have shown us that sharing makes us all richer. And to think, said the monks, to be happy is as simple as making stone soup. The end. And there's the willow, and there are the monks going on the other side of the bridge. This story reflects the Buddhist teachings about compassion, kindness, wisdom, interdependence. The teachings are universal, non-discriminatory, and for everyone. There are many ways to follow the Buddhist path. For Jodo Shinshu followers, we take Amida's path of love and acceptance, just as we are. As members of Hawaii's multi-spiritual community, we share in friendship and mutual respect with those of many other faiths: Muslim, Jewish, Christian, Quaker, Baha'i, and others. How lucky we live in Hawaii. We are very grateful to Shinran Shonin for showing us that it is through Amida's light, wisdom, and compassion that we can see ourselves better and become more thoughtful and mindful of each other. We do this by reciting the Nembutsu, Namo Amida Butsu. Shinran was born in May 846 years ago in 1173. Because of Shinran, we have a religion of gratitude, awareness, and self-reflection. Thank you very much for listening. I hope you enjoy this story. And we'll close with the Nembutsu, saying Namo Amida Butsu. Okay, please join me. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namanda.
Thank you, Reverend Barbara. You're reminding us of the teachings of Shinran Shonin and the Buddha. So, and also I think the fact that when you talked about the villagers now getting together and doing things, don't we do that here, right? So we're just like the villagers. We all come here, we sit down and we talk, because if it wasn't for that, we wouldn't know anyone at all, right? Okay, would you please rise for the Gatha at our altar in this Praises of the Buddha book on page 16, and then continue to stand for the Nembutsu on page 135 in the red Jodo Shinshu book, if you're not familiar with the words.
Humbly we come before the shrine of our Amida Buddha, the Holy One, the Perfect One. With gratitude, we have brought our offering of love and devotion to honor him. We earnestly resolve to strive to understand his holy teachings and to walk every day in his blessed path so that, like him, we may attain the peace of nirvana. Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu.
Please be seated. Announcement from our president, Mr. Tashiros.
Good morning, everyone. That was kind of a cute story. I mean, I know it's like a folklore or whatever, but do people actually make stone soup? Somebody should try that. Innit? Okay. All right. Thank you, Reverend Barbara. Thank you, Shirley, for being our MC. Thank you, Merle, for being the greeter. Lisa for playing the piano. Jen for ringing the kansho. And of course, Ryan. Today's refreshment is being provided by Team B, led by Dana. Reverend Barbara mentioned about last week's memorial service, and we did watch it via Zoom. I know some of you were pretty good about paying attention. I was kind of busy walking around, talking story. But I knew I wanted to hear it. I wanted to see it. So I fortunately got a message or email from headquarters that it was out on Zoom. I'm sorry, YouTube. So I found it and I watched it. And it was a very wonderful service. I thought listening to Reverend Hironaka's message, it was very moving and very emotional for me. And I could really feel, the sadness in his heart for all those people in Lahaina. But if you have a chance, please go to YouTube, look up Maui Wildfire Memorial Service, and you should be able to find it. If you'd like a link to the website, I do have it. See me and I can provide you that link. Okay, remember next Saturday is October 7th, Windward Mall Bone Dance. So, if you haven't signed up for to volunteer and help us there, at least go there and enjoy the festivities. This is the third year that it's been done. It's fantastic. It's crowded, loud with music and laughter, and great food put on by us. So we'll have andeki making. Thank you for those who volunteered. I'll send out an email to kind of give details on what, where, what, that type of thing. Wearing your T-shirts would be great, your Windward Buddhist Temple shirts. If you don't have one, just let me know and I'll provide you one. And keep in mind that all the net proceeds from our sales at the food booth will be donated to the Maui Wildfire Relief Fund. Next Sunday is a regular family service. I believe Joy will be the speaker, Joy Nishida. And after that service, it'll be bingo day. You rather have bingo or you want to listen to Joy? Okay, announcements. I'd like to announce that we have a new member. Yishin is now a member. Thank you, Yishin. And we have announcement by Prudence on our fun activity today.
I think I showed you this last week. This is what we're going to, this is what we're making today. Okay? So, we have those. And then I said that we would make some Halloween desserts, or snacks. And then we'll probably start with the snacks. I don't know if you can see it. You see these little bats? Okay, we're going to make these little bats. And then we're going to make these ugly, oh yeah. Someone said it looks awful, but it's the ugly mouth with rotten teeth. Okay, but you can eat it. Okay, so after your refreshments, I'll set up and then I'll let you know. So I prefer if everybody gathered at once so I don't have to repeat my instructions. We'll start with the food and then we'll end up making these. Thank you.
I'll be there. Casey and Oliver. And we have an announcement by Cynthia.
Good morning. So today is the first Sunday of the month of October. How many of you have a birthday in October? Please come forward. Okay. Let's see. 1, 2, 2? No? 2, 3? Anybody else? Oh, you can go over there. Okay, so 3 of them. Wow. That's okay. Okay, Roy will give you lei. Oops. Okay, and now we sing. Okay, so on the count of 3, let's sing happy birthday. Okay, 1, and sing loud. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Happy birthday. Oh, wait. Come stay here for picture taking. Okay. You're the movie star for the day. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, for your birthday dessert, you get to eat a bat or Okay, let's get ready to eat and do the words of thanksgiving found on page 126 of the Red Service Book. We are truly grateful for this wonderful food, a gift of life. May we share its benefits with all beings. As we partake of this food, let us remember Amida Buddha's compassion, which surrounds all people and all forms of life. Namo Amida Butsu. Itadakimasu. Thank you, everybody.